This week, it's all about my favorite topic, gnomes. Gnomes and 3D printing. Can you ever get enough gnomes? I don't think so. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, July the 15th, 2024, and it's vlog number 368, and today is also a very special day. Yes, it is the day after my birthday, but we're not going to talk about that. Well, yes, we are going to talk about that a little bit more, but today is Walter's and my 19th wedding anniversary. Yep, 19 days ago. 19 days. Seems only like 19 days. 19 years ago, Walter and I got married. And it was about a year after they made same-sex marriage legal here in Canada. So we got right on the bandwagon and got married. And there were many reasons why we did, but we jokingly said it was payback time because most of the people at our wedding were not from the LGBTQ community, and they were people that we had been over the years to their weddings, and I always gave them fabulous gifts, so it was their turn to give us gifts. Yeah, so I often joke that we got married just for the gifts. But anyways, let's talk first of all about what I've been working on. I showed this the other day, so just a quick glimpse at this again. I worked on this during the pop-up sew day that I had on Saturday, and it's called The Spirit of Christmas Hope. It was a kit, and it's based on this panel. And it went together fairly well, and the kit had all the fabric that I needed, and yeah, so it's sitting out in the Lucy room amongst other projects waiting for Lucy to quilt them. And I wish Lucy would actually do that all on her own. It would save me a lot of time, but yeah, AI hasn't been put into long arms yet. So I've been working on some other things, some sacred projects as well, so I can't really tell you much about those at the moment. One of those you're not going to find out about for, about 10 months. The other one, you may find out about it before the end of the summer. But anyways, yep, I'm keeping busy as I always am. So let's go right to YouTube channel of the week. If you like music, especially if you like modern dance, electronic music, you're going to love this. And I strongly suggest you watch the whole video because it's wonderful. But here's what I had to say about this. This week's YouTube video comes from a concert, actually, and if you like modern electronic dance music, you're going to love this because it combines that with singers and with a symphony orchestra, and this comes out of Auckland, and it was done a couple of months ago, and it's called SYNTHONY World Premiere Full-Length Show, and it's about a 2-hour long video. It's really worth watching because you really get to hear some really great music. It is fun to watch the conductor and the people in the orchestra who are genuinely looking like they're having a good time doing this kind of music, and of course the light show that goes along with it and all the visual effects. So if you're into modern dance music that's done with a full symphony orchestra, then you want to check this video clip out. Link for that is in the show notes below. There's a link, of course, for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday. So I hope you can join us. If you've never joined us before, we do not bite. We have a really great time, and all are welcome. So that's in the show notes below. It is a private Zoom link. It is not a YouTube live. We do not record it. It's just fun. And there's a couple of links for patterns that I have written. They're free for you. And links to all my friends' channels. And if you haven't checked any of those out, please do. And be sure when you're there to subscribe to them as well. And there is a link for all of my videos last week as well. And if you didn't get a chance to catch it on Wednesday night, we had our monthly social review which consists of Stephanie Stitches, myself and Walter, Russ from Quilt Meets World, and of course Shannon from Slay Arts, where we get together and just talk about stuff every month. And this month we talked about our sewing machines, because one of the popular questions we get asked is, what sewing machine or machines do we own and why? So we talk all about that. And I think you may find some useful information amongst that discussion. Okay, so let's take a look at what things are looking like outdoors right now. Now, of course, like everywhere else in North America, it's we've been having very hot weather as well, but I am not complaining. A lot of people are. Well, the ones that are complaining the most are people probably legitimate reasons to complain, because they're in parts of the United States where they're getting over 100 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures, and we're not that hot, but we're up there. Currently at 6:53 in the morning, it is 20 degrees Celsius, so that's very comfortable. That's room temperature here. That's about, let's see, 20 and 20 is 43, about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, but it's on its way up, and it looks like, according to my watch, we're going to have a high today of 27, I think. So let me just see here, get this thing to cooperate with me so I can read it. Right now it says it's 21, feels like 23, and the high is going to be 27. So that means we'll probably be hovering around, depending on the humidex, in around 30 degrees. Well, that's 90. So yeah, it's not over 100 yet, but that's still warm. But I'm not going to complain about it, because this is the middle of July. By the time we get to the end of August, things will start cooling down a little bit, maybe. And, you know, very soon we'll be into the fall, and bang, we'll be bitching about the cold. Humans, we're not happy about anything, especially the weather. So you can see outside, it's a little bit overcast. I don't know if there's any rain in the forecast. Just let me see what it says on my watch. Nope, it says 0% chance of rain today. Well, no, 0% chance rented lips. Right now, 55% chance in 10 hours. Well, that's this evening. Okay, I don't care if it rains tonight. I'm hoping it doesn't rain this afternoon, because we have plans. More about that later on. Okay, so that's what the day is like here. And that takes me to what's pissing me off. Well, people just suck, don't they? I mean, one of my subscribers said one time, long time ago, she preferred dogs over humans. And you want to know something? There are more than a few days in any given week where I would definitely agree with that sentiment. Now, you know, and I'm going to base this on what it's like to be a YouTube creator. You've heard me say this before. As a YouTube creator, we leave ourselves open to being picked on, basically. Everybody's got an opinion, you know. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one. And there's no lack of opinions from people who watch YouTube. And they're not afraid to share their opinion. And this is why I say people suck, because a lot of times their so-called opinions are just hateful. They insult you. I have one YouTube creator friend that was told once that she was fat and ugly. What's that got to do with anything? Well, first of all, it's not nice to say that to any human being, is it? In polite society, we would never do that. We wouldn't. Our mothers probably raised us properly to know that those are the kind of comments you keep in your head. You don't say those to people or write those to people. But there seems to be a lot of people who write comments like that. I've had people tell me, well, that I'm an idiot. Don't have to tell me that. I already have that in the title of the Idiot Quilter. Okay. They have said I don't know what I'm talking about, but they don't just say, like, there's a polite way and a rude way to say things like that. If you don't agree with somebody's opinion, that is fine. We live in a part of the world where actually the idea of sharing our differences of opinion is applaud it. That's how we learn things. But you don't turn around and just say somebody's stupid or they don't know what they're talking about. You frame it in something that turns it a negative into a positive, right? And that's called constructive criticism, not destructive, constructive criticism. But no, these people for some reason get their jollies by taking you down a peg or two. Now, we all know people in the world that need to be taken down a peg or two, but is it for us to do that? Um, you know, there may be something we don't agree with. There may be somebody we don't like. But probably the best way to handle that is to ignore it, especially on YouTube. Nobody is twisting anybody's arm to watch anything on YouTube. You have the freedom to not go back to a channel that you find offensive for whatever reason. But these people think they have the freedom to go on and just be rude to you all the time. But it's not just on social media where this happens. This happens on YouTube. This happens on Facebook. This happens on Instagram, whatever out there, X, And I guess it's because there's that wall, right, between the creator and the viewer. That electronic wall where they feel very free to say whatever they want to say and escape consequences because they can do it, they think, because nobody knows who they are and they can't see them. And, to me, that's just being a chicken. It really is. If you have something to say, then say it to the person's face. And if you had to say it, what you're thinking, to people's face, you might think about it twice and you might put it in a different manner or couch it in different terminology at the risk of getting your face punched in. You might want to think about that, but they don't. And, the same thing, though, we can extend this about people sucking. Look at what we see on TV, live streams. I don't know what to call it anymore. Do we call it TV anymore? Or do we call it live streaming or what? But whatever, wherever we get our news or our entertainment, look at what the form of that is. The news focuses on all the bad behaviors of people all the time. You very seldom hear a story that has a positive outcome. Television programming, there seems to be an awful lot of those programs on there now about crime, what those NCS ones or NCIS, whatever they're called. I don't watch them, but they have one for every place in North America: Toronto, Chicago, LA, whatever, and they're all violent. And they're all showing people doing bad things, and other people who are supposedly the good guys are capturing them. But those good guys aren't that good either. And have you noticed that? I don't know if the term is anti-hero. I should know. I taught literature. However, in my mind, anti-hero is, maybe the main character of a storyline, but they're not necessarily a nice person. And if you analyze a lot of the characters, and I said this to Walter not too long ago while we're watching TV, it seems that every movie, every program, every series, the people who are the main leads are not lovable characters. They have a lot of character flaws. And those character flaws, many of them make them, well, they're basically bad people. So now when we're watching things like this, you have to pick, the lesser of two evils. Who's not as bad as the other character? But that extends into politics too. Look at what we in Canada and the United States have to choose from. It's either dumb or dumber, or dumbest. We have 3 political parties in Canada. Or it's just you vote for the lesser of two evils. And I mean, that's an old expression, but it's definitely very apropos to what our political scene looks like. So people suck. People suck in the grocery store. We were talking about this the other day. Why is it that in a grocery store, somebody with a cart feels they need to stop dead aisle right in the center, or even turn their cart diagonally across the aisle where nobody else can get their cart past. And it is difficult to negotiate the aisles in grocery stores these days, because I swear they're making them narrower and longer all the time. Um, and when you do walk up to somebody and say, "Oh, excuse me," and you're polite about it, they give you this dirty look like, "I excuse you. How dare you want to try and get past and get on with your shopping? I am standing here. This is my aisle, and I will spend as much time as I need be, and I will block you, and because it's you." Yeah, people suck. But there is a shining light. And this is something I don't often say when I'm doing my little rant here, but there is another side to all of this. Not everybody sucks. And this past weekend just proved that to me. The little community that I have created here, and other YouTube creators have created, the quilting community, especially the sewing community, most of those people I can call my friends. They're supportive, they're helpful, they're informative, they're entertaining, and they're friends, and they're friendly. And you know, that gives me hope for humanity, because it's very easy to focus on all the negativity there is in our world and in our communities and amongst people, that we forget there are still some good people out there. In fact, there's more than some. There's probably quite a few. But those are the people that live in the shadows, because the media doesn't focus on them, and the loud minority out there seem to get all the attention. And so we forget there are good people, and there are people out there that are doing good things for other people as well, to help make other people's lives joyful. So I guess when I get down on people and start thinking I'd rather have a dog, I just have to think about the good people and my friends on here. So yeah, people suck, but not all people suck. So just surround yourselves with those that don't suck. And I think we would be happier if we did that. Okay, let's move on to new products. Well, new products are focusing on my birthday presents. Now, yes, I just turned 67 years old. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm a bit of a runny nose this morning for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I turned 67. Don't know how that happened. I don't feel 67. And you know, a lot of people say that about their age, but I don't. I truly don't. I am very lucky health-wise. Thank my lucky stars. As far as I know, I don't have any major health problems. I am retired. I have a good income that allows me to do pretty much anything I want to do within reason. And that also allows me to buy whatever I want when I need it within reason. So overall, I have a very comfortable life. I have a good relationship. I have a roof over my head. I don't have debtors pounding a path to my door. I have food to eat. I have a good life. And I'm thankful for that. I know other people aren't so lucky, and I feel for them. And you know, if I had the ability to make everybody's life wonderful by a wave of my hand, I'd be waving my hand. But I can't. So what I'm saying is, then, how does this lead up to my birthday gifts? Well, I'm difficult to buy for, because I can buy what I want when I want it within reason. Always have to use the term within reason. What does somebody get me? Basically, I'm the epitome of, what do you get the guy that has everything? Now, before you think that I'm the only one in the world, I think there's a lot of people, and I think it happens with age. The older we get, the less we probably want. And we've probably already accumulated a lot of stuff. I know I certainly have if I look at my crawl space. Um, you know, after all these years of living. So it really puts pressure on people if they really want to get us something. And yes, I say, don't buy me anything. But Walter always says to me with my birthday, and I do the same with his, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it goes on and on. Well, anyways, I loved what I did receive for my birthday. Now, this may not be your cup of tea, but I'm very happy with it. So I'm just going to show you um, some pictures here, if I find them. Okay, they're right. Okay, where did they go? I thought they were there. I thought I had everything. Oh, yes, here we go. I did have things organized. Yeah, go figure. So here we are. Here are two of my birthday presents from Walter. The one on the left, the Works, that's a vacuum. And it is fantastic. Now, funny story about how Walter knew to get me this. On Wednesday, on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, Ellen, one of our regular friends who comes on there, she was showing this, that she got it, and she loves it in her sewing room. It is lightweight, very portable, has good suction, 2 speeds, comes with a couple of accessories, a crevice tool and a brush. That's what you see there in the front, the little round things at the top of it. It's rechargeable battery, and this one came with the battery and the charger. Now that you can get some where they're a little less expensive than this one, but they don't come with the charger and the battery because this is a system. You may be familiar with this line of products. They make a lot of tools, and they have batteries that you can take out of one device, put into the next device. So, if you've already got that system, then you don't need to pay for the battery and the charger. And I thought, yes, this would be great in my sewing room because, yeah, I've got another vacuum, but it's bigger. I have a Dyson. Quite frankly, I don't like the Dyson, but Walter got it and he loves it, so whatever. But there's little nooks and crannies around that always start to accumulate dust bunnies of thread, right? Thread bunnies, I guess we could call them, and you need something to get them up with. So I thought, yeah, this would be really handy, and it is very lightweight. So you just hold it, carry it over to a spot you want to get into, and it's great for getting up what we call filament poop. Yes, my 3D printers poop. They have little bits of plastic that come off the nozzle when they're first priming, getting ready to do a print, and there's other little bits of plastic that will come off during the prints, and those little suckers get everywhere. And they especially all like to hide behind my printers where it's more awkward to get at them. So I go in with my hand usually, or a cloth, and or even a Swiffer, and try to get at them. This works perfect for that. Gets right into those little nooks and crannies and picks up all my filament poop. So I'm really pleased with this. So when I saw it and I found the link on Amazon, I sent Walter the link and I says, well, since you didn't know what to get me for my birthday, I saw this. What do you think? Well, he jumped. I just heard something fall, and I'm not sure what it was. Must be the neighbor next door. He's been sanding his deck. Anyways, I digress. So I sent Walter the link for this on Amazon, and he got it for me. And he's impressed with it too. So I have put a link for this. It's for the Amazon.ca, but I believe it's on at Amazon.com. It's cheaper on Amazon.com. So all you have to do is just basically look at the name of it that Amazon.ca is using and plug that into the search engine on Amazon.com, and you can find one too. So I'm enabling you people, but I'm really impressed with this device. You're probably wondering what it costs. Well, in Canadian funds, it's $150. That includes the battery and the charger. Like I said, if you already have this system, you probably already know about this if you have this system. But if you have this system already and you have the battery and the charger, it's about $90 Canadian. So like I said, cheaper in the US. Now, right beside that, you're going to see a set of baskets. And you're going to go, ooh, there's a thrilling birthday present. Yes, it is, because I love me baskets. I do. I have a lot of baskets, plastic baskets, and I usually buy them at the dollar store. The prices on the plastic baskets have been going up though over the years. I think now for the ones I buy these blue baskets. They're a little smaller than these ones you see here, and they cost about 2.25, 2.50 a piece. And I always need more. And I don't know how many I've got, but I have blue baskets everywhere. Well, when we were in Costco the other day, I came upon these. This was a set of 14 baskets in various sizes. You can see them there for 20 bucks. And I almost bought them when I was there at the time. And I thought, no, I won't bother. I'll just go to the dollar store. But when I got working out price-wise, what it would cost me to buy pretty much the equivalent of these baskets at the dollar store, there wasn't any savings to be had. So Walter was over at Costco again to pick up something we didn't pick up the first time, and he got these for me and brought them home. So that was gift number 2. I love my baskets. I love my vacuum. But then I had a little surprise gift. Well, Walter gave me this yesterday on the day of my birthday. And it was a surprise because I did not expect him to get me this. Now you're going to look at it and go, what is it? It's a shaver. It is a beard trimmer. Now I have one already, but I was complaining about it lately because I've had it for a while. It does a good job. I liked it, but the problem I have is there's interchangeable heads that go on it for adjusting for length that you want to cut of your beard, and they keep dropping off. They're not as secure as they once were. Age, I guess. Aren't we all just a little looser when we get older? So are products. So, the danger of this was you'd be shaving down the side of your face. Suddenly that head would drop off, but your hand's still going, and guess what? You got a big hole in your beard. Not a good look. He has one of these. His is slightly different, but he got me one. They're not expensive, and that's okay. I'm a cheap girl. You don't have to buy me expensive things. But I love it. I used it this morning for the first time. Had to fool around with the adjustment to get it right, but I love it. And the little adjustment part fits on this nice and tight. That's not going anywhere. So yeah, I was thrilled to get this. And he even threw in a bottle of beard oil. I don't have a picture of that here, but yeah, yes, I do use beard oil. Those of you that don't have beards probably don't care what that is or don't know what that is. Basically, it keeps it nice and soft. Yes, nice and soft. My hairdresser recommended it because she was getting sick of when she trims my beard, and the hair in my beard is very wiry because it's gray. And gray hair tends to be wiry. I think she was losing an eye every time she was trimming my beard as it was flying into her face. So she recommended beard oil, and I like it, and it smells nice too. So yeah, those were my birthday gifts. But wait, there's more. I got a surprise gift in the mail from one of my friends who's one of my regulars on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen all the time. Sue Norfleet. Some of you know her, I'm sure, that if you're regulars. And Sue sent me this. Let me just get it up here. Okay, you're probably laughing now in what, like, YA1 sauce. Isn't that for meat? Isn't that a steak sauce? Yes, it is. And it's one of my favorites. And I think we were talking about this kind of thing one day on, as we do on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. We often talk about all kinds of things. And we were talking about, I don't know, sauces, I guess. And I said this was one I really liked. But I used to be able to get it readily enough in the grocery stores here in our area. And suddenly, you have to do a real treasure hunt to find it. It's very difficult to get. I don't know why. I mean, A1 is not a new product. It's been around for 1,000 years. And it's been in our grocery stores for that long too. And suddenly it's just not there. It is an American product, but I don't know why A1's not there. Heinz 57 is there. HP is there, but no A1. So she heard me talking about that dilemma, and this arrived in the mail. 2 giant bottles, 2 15-ounce or 425-gram bottles. That's a lot. But I'm going to treat this like liquid gold because of what it cost her to send it to me. The shipping on this was more than what Sue probably paid for these 2 bottles of A1 sauce, which just makes this gift even more precious because, you know, she didn't need to do that at all. And just out of the goodness of her heart, she invested a lot in a birthday present for me. And, well, thank you, Sue, from the bottom of my heart. It was a great surprise. I very much appreciate the thought and the effort and the expense you went to send me these bottles of A1 sauce. So they are liquid gold for sure. One more thing about my birthday that I forgot to share with you, and that's this. This was the card that Walter gave me for my birthday, and it is very apropos. No one watches TV with their eyes closed better than you. And that is very, very true, because oftentimes at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I will come out of my sewing room. I will go downstairs, go into the rec room, turn on a documentary on Netflix or something, and promptly fall asleep. I see the beginning of the documentary. I see the ending of it. I have no idea what happened in the middle. And oftentimes on a Friday or Saturday night, we're watching YouTube and we're watching upstairs in our family room something that one of the series we follow on Netflix or something. And suddenly I will hear, "Are you awake? Did you see any of that?" Because I tend to fall asleep with that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much appropriate. It's hilarious. I just thought I'd share that with you. So yeah, so you saw now what I got for my birthday. It was a good birthday. We had my birthday dinner last night. I am going to insert, well, I'll talk about that in a bit. I'm jumping ahead of myself, so we'll come back to that in a moment. So let's talk about our plants, how they're doing outside. And they are doing spectacular. Look at them. Now, it's the combination of the rain that we've had and the heat, and the lettuce has been loving it, as you can see. And our tomatoes are loving it too. We have had some of the tomatoes already. The Roma tomatoes you see down there, the red ones, we've already eaten some of those in a salad, and the other ones are coming along very nicely. Here's a close-up of the Romas, and yeah, they're doing very well. Now, we learned last year we started from seeds our tomato plants, and they took forever. We didn't start to get ripe tomatoes until about into August. And this year Walter decided just to buy tomato plants and plant them, and that's the way to go. I'm sure other people who are gardeners know that. So yeah, I'm a little late to the game, but it's really nice, and they just taste so much better than what you get in the grocery store. And look, our experimental cucumbers. We have cucumbers, and we had our first one in our salad last night, and it was great. And we had 3 on the vine that are all about this size. They're good size. 2 of them are still on the vine. We're watching them carefully because we were told that if they start to turn a little yellow, pick them, because they're going to go on you. You won't be able to eat them. So it may be all we're going to get this season is 3 cucumbers. It was an experiment because we're growing them vertically, kind of a thing, in a pot. But, well, these are called bush cucumbers, so they are meant to grow sort of this way. But, yeah, really impressed with ourselves. And our green peppers, we have a few peppers that are there ready to eat, but this one's starting to turn red. Notice it's got a little spot on it there. We may not be able to let this go until it turns completely red. We'll see. We're keeping our eye on that because it would be really nice to have some red peppers as well. There's another green pepper coming along nicely. These are hot peppers. And we've never grown hot peppers before, but we're giving it a try now. And I don't know if these are ready to use or not. They might be. We'll have to try. Now, We have radishes outside and they're coming along nicely, but we left some of the radishes indoors under the lights, and you can see they've got flowers on them. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Now, somebody told me you could eat the flowers. They'd like to sprinkle them in a salad or something. I have to look into that a little bit further, but I think we're going to have to like pull one of these up and see, because I don't know what we have underground with those. The onions have just gone. We have onions outside too. We have lots of onions. These ones are getting a little snaky here. I think Walter said he might take them and put them outside. But these are kind of our experimental crops under the lights to determine what we can grow. You know, when the growing season basically is done outside, we want to have some things going inside so we can have like salad all year round without having to buy stuff. And we know that the lettuce does really well under the grow lights, and the green peppers do pretty good too. They take a while. Tomatoes, they haven't done that well. So I don't think we'll be growing tomatoes. Basil does really well under the grow lights. And the onions, they do okay under the grow lights too, but they need space. And that may be one reason why these ones are looking a little wild. Of course, they're ready to eat that are in there, so we got to get at that. And I said to Walter what we can do with all of the onions too, because there's going to be more onions coming than we can actually eat. We'll take them, clean them up, chop them up, put them in baggies and use them for cooking. And that's what we'll do with our peppers as well when we get to the stage where we have more peppers than we need. We still have peppers from last year in the freezer. They're stuffed peppers, actually. Every time I mention to Walter, well, why don't we have some stuffed peppers for dinner? He goes, yeah, I don't think he's a fan of stuffed peppers, which ironically, he's the one that made them. I think they're delicious. We need to be eating them up. Yeah, before we end up with freezer burn. And they've already been in the freezer. They're well protected, but they've been in the freezer quite a while. So yeah, that's how our gardens are growing. Anything else beyond that? I don't think there is. So that takes me to, can I print this effing thing? And you know that I print a lot of things. You can see some over my shoulder right behind me here. And you might be wondering what they're on. Well, I print the shelves as well. So I did a little video clip showing you exactly what I mean.
I thought you might be interested in seeing how I display my 3D creations. And in my sewing room, I have a lot of these hexagonal shelves that I have mounted on the wall. And these were all 3D printed. I found this design some time ago, and I just used a 3M tape that isn't supposed to mark your walls, but it does, and just put them up in various spots in the room. So these ones are up quite high, as you can see, almost to the ceiling. And they're very, because 3D prints are very, very light, you don't have to worry about them being too heavy for these shelves to support. So I have some over here as I use kind of as a backdrop to my printers. As you can see here, this is my Mickey Mouse collection. And behind these printers, I have another series of shelves too. They work out very, very well. And I have them everywhere. As you can see, here's another spot. And you can arrange them in different orders and things to give sort of an interesting pattern. They don't hold a lot. They're only good for maybe 1 or 2 figures, deciding, depending on the size of them. But I think they look pretty cool. And they've held up very well because some of these have been up here for quite a few years. And let's go over to the ones you saw these when I did the one about my marble-like statues. And they're all in here. So basically, it fills up some blank wall space that maybe you can't get a painting or a picture or something like that on, but something this size fits in very well. And as I said, you can arrange them in any configuration you want. They take a little while to make, and they're made in 2 pieces. It makes the hexagon piece and then the platform, which is also a hexagon. And it's kind of an ingenious design. You can't really see it here, but if you look at the one here on the side, they basically just clip over the edge of that piece that's mounted to the wall. It's a cool design. It really works well. So that's how I display all of my art, or 3D art, I suppose you'd call it. Some more up here. And yeah, I'm running out of wall space. But 3D printing, you can make shelves. As long as the things you're putting on the shelves are not too heavy, you'll be fine.
So that takes me to blasts from the past. I've been showing you old clips from when I first went on YouTube about 13 years ago. And here's another one. I was a paper crafter, as you know, and this was my first album making workshop. I was getting prepped for this project to teach to some of my friends who were also into paper crafting. So enjoy this primitive movie.
Hi, it's Steven. So, I had some friends contact me. They wanted me to do a little workshop out of my house with them for creating a little mini album because they'd seen some of mine and they wanted to learn how to do it. And so I said, sure, not a problem. But these people that are coming haven't really done this kind of thing before, so I want them to create something in one day. We're going to run it, it's coming up very soon, next week, and we're going to just run it for a full day from about 10 o'clock in the morning right through until maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And my goal is that they will come out with an album, something like this. Now, I started to design this album based on ideas that I had seen on YouTube as well, where I steal all of my ideas, of course. And then it was getting a little bit too elaborate, and I thought that might put them off because they're not as experienced with doing this kind of thing like a lot of people. So I thought I want to keep it simple but elegant. So what I did beforehand is the actual pages of this album that I'll show you here in a second. The background, I cut them out for them. So when they come for the workshop, each person's going to get one of these. And this is the basic album without it being bound yet. Okay, so you can see basic shape cut out with the Cricut, and I created the pages with the pockets for them already, also cut out of the Cricut. Everything's cut from the Cricut. This is a little blank booklet that I pre-cut and folded as well for them. And on this page there's a large tag, and I pre-cut it as well. And so I think this album consists of about 6 pages in total, and that's what they're going to get. Now, this was a time-saving device. I could have drawn up templates, have them cut them out by hand. I do have 2 Cricut machines. We could have used 2 Cricut machines at once, but even though I've got 5 people coming for this workshop, it would still take a lot of time. And, you know, when you start to depend upon technology, technology usually lets you down. So I thought I'd avoid that problem by pre-cutting everything. Also, what I pre-cut, let's move these out. For the various inserts you're going to see, I've pre-cut them. I haven't decorated them, I just cut out the basic shapes. And I've got them all organized here in this little box for them with these clips on it so I can go through it. This is the teacher in me, okay? Most of you know that I'm a retired school teacher, so of course I like to do everything in advance, make sure it's all organized, and to go through. And I also created for them templates for decorating the various elements. So this little pile here has everything pre-cut. What I did was I put 2 pieces of very heavy cardstock together, and actually this is glossy photo paper that I use in my printer when I print out my scrapbook pages, and these were the scraps. And so I laminated 2 sheets together and then used the Cricut to cut out the sheets, and then I've identified on here, more for me than for them, which template goes to which page and which element. And I've got them all cut out here, and the idea is that they can just trace around these when they want to decorate their tags or the pockets and that kind of thing, and cut them out of pattern paper and lay those down. Again, I could have pre-cut all of those pieces for them using the Cricut, but then what was the point? They're not really putting something together for themselves. They're just basically pasting down things that I've given them. So that's not really what I wanted them to do. So this is what the final product might look like. Everybody gets a chance to pick their own pattern paper, and I'll cut the basic pattern paper for the background pages out for them on the Cricut just so that they fit. They glue them down, they'll decorate the cover any way they wish, and inside they have various elements. A simple frame, with it could be for a picture or a journaling block. They've got pockets. This is a library card pocket decorated with a tag. I'm going to show them 3 different ways to decorate a tag, and they can pick the one they like the best and use that. So they've got some say in the matter. This little booklet inside, and it's just simply to decorate. The whole idea, a little journaling on the back, the whole idea here is when they leave from the workshop, they will have this little booklet already done, and all they have to do is put their pictures and their journaling in it for whatever they want. Over the page here, that's a little booklet, get that back up there. Okay, this is one of those triangular, I call it a triangular fold, I don't know what it's really called, but it's just a little fun little element that pops out. All pops out here. They'll be able to decorate it. Again, I pre-cut the triangle, but they'll cut the background paper and pick their ribbon. And I'll show them how to fasten the ribbon to it at the back of it and stick it in. Little nameplate kind of thing here that they can use for journaling or for titling or whatever. A little flip-up booklet. Now, all the embellishments that are on here are mine. They're not probably going to get a chance in the time period we have to actually do any more embellishing. So when they go home, they will be embellishing it on their own as they go along. The big tag, I'm going to show them other methods for decorating that they can choose from. Another flip up, another library card idea, another little booklet inside the pocket in here, and then this is called the Waterfall album. Just look it up on the internet, or on YouTube, that's where I found it, and kind of neat. It's a little flip-up album, you put your pictures in there, and the last page with that. And then we'll cinch it all together. I will give them a cinch wire for that and show them how to do that. And if there's time, they can start embellishing their cover and other parts of it, and maybe add some ribbons down to the side. So that's going to be my first workshop that I've given in a while, and I hope it all works out okay. I'll let you know how it goes. And if it goes really well, what I might do is do a workshop on YouTube on making this particular album. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you'd like to see a workshop that I've done on YouTube, then let me know, and I'll put something together. Okay? Have a good day.
So that takes me to events in the past week. I already mentioned that we had the social review on Wednesday, and if you didn't catch it, you can catch the replay on Russ's channel, Quilt Meets World. It is there for your enjoyment. The pop-up sew day, of course, I've already mentioned that. We had a good one. You might be wondering when the next pop-up sew day is. So am I. I haven't got a date yet. We are, and I'll explain this in a moment, we're going off to Ohio for a while very soon. And once we come back, that's going to be kind of at the tail end of July. So I don't know, it might be the first Saturday in August, which for us in Canada is actually a long weekend, which might be perfect for that. So I'll see. But you'll know when I know. I'll make sure of it. Yeah, and let's see. Oh yeah, something else. I should have done this earlier, but I'm going to do it now. One of my friends that's I see all the time on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen wrote me a poem and gave me a reading of that poem during the pop-up sew day. And it's so cute, the poem. And she sent me the recording of it, and I'm going to insert it in here for you to hear it. But also, I have coupled it with some pictures of me from, one of them's from quite a long time ago. That's a cute little bugger. And I wasn't that little in that picture. I think it's one of my old school pictures when I was a teacher. And there's another one in there that's going to scare you. Okay, it's a weird looking picture just for fun. So I'm going to put that in here right now. So my friend Elaine made me a very special poem for my birthday, which she read to me during our pop-up sew day on Saturday, and I thought I would share that with you, and with some relatively comical pictures of me that have been taken over the last, well, few years. You'll get a kick out of this, I'm sure. And thank you, Elaine. This was a really nice birthday present.
Stephen, in honor of your birthday, shout hip hip hooray. The idiot quilter is almost 67 today. You've brought us together to sew and have fun. In celebration of the day, to your Zoom link we've come. Before you were quilting, 'twas English you taught. A poem befitting you? Well, a poet I'm not. The people participating know you are quite a talker, a tribute from someone you know as the stalker. So shout out to you from your subscribers here, wishing you all the best in the coming year.
So you might be curious as to what we had for my birthday dinner and what Walter made. Well, he said he would take me out for dinner, but you want to know something? It's not worth the expense anymore to go out for a nice dinner. Prices since COVID have gone sky high. They were expensive beforehand to eat out, and we're very quick eaters, and so no matter where we go, how nice the place is, we can be done in half an hour or less. And when you're dropping like $200-300 on a dinner, you really want to enjoy it. And yeah, I just thought it's a waste of money for that. I'd rather have dinner with Walter at home. So we have some lobster tails in the freezer. We always buy them at Costco. They're always quite good. They're not always available. So when they do come available, we stock up on them and put them in the freezer. And Walter does them in the sous vide, and they come out great. And so he made me dinner. He got a few little fancy appetizers, which he made himself. And we had a really nice evening. We even had a bottle of champagne-like wine. Didn't come from the Champagne region of France, so you can't call it champagne. It was a nice dinner. It was a nice evening. And to top it all off, he made a strawberry tart. Basically a strawberry pie without a crust on the top, but which is delicious as always. So I took some video of it so you can see what my birthday dinner was all about, and I'm going to insert it right here for you. So for my birthday dinner tonight, Walter made some hors d'oeuvres. We have some curd, and we have ham and pickle roll-ups. There is a little garlic dill, baby dill, inside a piece of ham in here, and they're delicious. You can see I was gnawing on this one. And of course we're having a little champagne-like wine. And Walter has got the lobster tails in the sous vide bag, ready to go in the sous vide. And now he's going to whip cream. So Walter now has the lobster tails all prepared, and it's in the sous vide cooking. They take about an hour to do what you have to do with them. And for those of you that aren't aware of what a sous vide is, this is basically a way of cooking food in a hot water bath. You have a rod here that heats up the water in this tank, and you set it to a precise temperature, and that's exactly how it will cook. So like if you do steak in this or whatever, it'll come out exactly the way you want it, whether you want it medium or rare or medium rare or whatever. And it can sit in here after it is cooking for quite a while, which keeps it warm, but it won't cook it any further.
Yeah, I know, but with lobster, you got to be careful. It'll go tough if you leave it in too long.
Okay, so did you hear that? Walter says if you leave lobster, however, in for too long, it will go tough.
You can put steak in there and leave it in for like 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, and Walter's now chopping up one of the onions from our garden, and the tomatoes from our garden as well. And
Remember, I will be showing you the cucumbers on the vine tomorrow on our vlog, but this was our experiment. But we are getting cucumbers, and we're not doing them in the traditional way because they're growing in our pots out on our deck. And so the vines are kind of going vertical. So
It's a bush cucumber.
it's a bush cucumber, yeah. But they weren't actually when we put them in, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, they were called a bush cucumber?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there we go. And this salad is everything from our gardens on our deck. So yeah, I like this kind of year, or this time of year, because then we can eat the things that we've grown ourselves.
Fresh.
And
Organic.
it's organic because there's no buggy spray on it. So you just like eat the bugs as you eat the salad. No, not really. Clean it all up. And so Walter's preparing all of that. I already showed you the hors d'oeuvres. So this will be delicious. And then he has to do the drawn butter. Mm-hmm. Although you're technically not going to do a drawn butter, are you? You're just going to do melted butter.
Nuke it.
Yeah, just nuke it. So, I mean, clarified butters, drawn butter, that means they skim off what? The fat?
No, it's if you have butter, there's milk solids in it. That's if you look at it when you melt butter, you might have like a creamy, what looks like watery milk underneath it or something. And clarified butter is getting rid of that stuff. But we're just going for the taste anyway.
Yeah. So that
doesn't
doesn't really matter particularly to us for this. So I will show you other things later. He already whipped his cream for his strawberry tart.
Sorry, no napkin rings. They're gonna find it.
And here is the final production. Walter's famous garlic bread. He makes the garlic butter himself. Our lobster tails. Our salad from our garden. What's left of our bubbly. And so.
And our homemade salad
Oh,
dressings.
our homemade salad dressing. We just put them in these bottles just so that people won't know they're homemade. Yeah, right. So there, that's all that. And then later we have dessert. And the piece of resistance, the grand finale, let's call it that, is the pie, is Walter's strawberry tart. He says it went a little cloudy, but I don't think that makes much difference. Now he's putting on his whipped cream, real whipped cream, freshly whipped. It looks delish. Delish. Very nice. Yum! And so what's coming up? Well, this afternoon, we're off to Toronto to visit with a couple of friends of ours, and we're spending the night at their place, coming back tomorrow. So that's going to be nice. We haven't been downtown Toronto in a couple of years. So we're going to wander the streets downtown. Hopefully we won't get shot. Toronto the Good, not so much anymore, but they live right downtown too. So, they'll know where to go and where not to go. So that's going to be fun. And then we're off to Berlin, Ohio. Next Sunday, we leave for Berlin, Ohio. So that may interrupt Stephen and Walter Live. We're going to try to do Stephen and Walter Live from the hotel we're staying at in Berlin while we're there. But, it's all going to depend on internet connections, technology, the whole bit, how that all works. So anyways, there may or may not be a Stephen and Walter Live. As for videos for that week, and, after this coming Sunday, my regular schedule of videos will be disrupted, but there will be videos coming out. Again, depending on how the internet connection is where we're staying and all of that kind of stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to put up a video about our adventures each day of our trip. So we're going for only about 5 days, I think. So we're going down on the Sunday and spending Monday and Tuesday doing the quilt stores because we're down in Amish country and looking around at other things. And then on the Wednesday,
which would be the day of sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. And I have to talk to Stephanie about that this Wednesday, but I don't think there's going to be a sew with Stephanie and Stephen on the 24th of July. That would be the Wednesday. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, because the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Yeah, it'd be the 24th. Because we're meeting up with Stephanie that day and going to do things with Stephanie. Not sure what those things are, but we'll find something to do. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, and of course, we may try, if we can, we might try to do a live with Stephanie that at some point in that day as well. So stay tuned. And which brings me up, I don't usually say this, but if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for all notifications. So especially for that week, to see what we put up. If you're interested, you might not care. And that's fine too. So yeah, lots of things coming up. It's going to be great. So I guess that brings me to the end of this episode. And I got to get ready to take off for Toronto. And we'll see you again real soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.